What's going on, everybody? It's your boy. I'm 2 days fucking late to the party for reacting to this, but honestly, the Warriors Dem, they released the Centurion, Gladiator, and Warlord first run through, I guess, reworks for the testing grounds and everything. And I have actually not looked at any of the information. Obviously, I've been streaming and people have kind of been popping in and out saying a couple things. The only things that I know, at least in the whole grand scheme of this whole thing, is the Centurion can feint their zone now, and something about maybe a feinting punch. So that's really all I know. I've kept myself like out of the loop for I don't know what the reason is, but we're gonna go ahead, look at this, and watch it and see what I think of the initial ones. Keep in mind the testing grounds I think comes out the 29th or whatever, and these changes aren't necessarily gonna go through. So just keep that in mind. Let's get into this. Appreciate it. Drop a like. Otherwise, you smell like a gopher. I don't know if I've ever smelt a gopher in real life, but just appreciate it.
Back now with
All right.
Stefan Juwinski.
We are here with Mr. Stefan Juwinski. He's actually he's actually one of the better developers, I think. I like Stefan.
All right, let's hit it. Testing grounds, phase 1. What is testing grounds?
I'm curious.
Let's find out.
All right.
It's basically similar to a public test server.
Yeah.
With a couple of differences.
Yeah, this is actually the really cool thing, that you can have the testing grounds within the client itself is actually a really good change, because the previous public test they used to have was literally downloading a whole different client altogether, which is way better.
Instead of battle, instead of breach, you're going to pick testing grounds.
Yes.
And you're going to be right there.
Good shit, good shit.
Smooth. And if you're PC or if you're PS4 or if you're Xbox
that's
One,
very nice,
included,
right?
Big family.
Exactly.
You know, they take in a lot of PC stuff for a lot of the stuff, because you know,
right? Like,
that's where a majority of like the high-level tournament players and stuff are.
And
but
finally,
nice to see console in
it
there.
keeps your regular progression. So if you have orders or a hero that you're trying to rep up or get gear for, take them into testing grounds. At the end, you will get your gear, your order.
That's actually sick.
XP.
I actually had no idea about that.
Nice. Nice.
Huh.
So it's not a waste
I
of time
like.
to dump
I like.
something or
Yes.
Very good.
It's super nice. Phase run. So the first one we're going to try here.
Yes.
It's going to start August 29th.
right.
Right now, plans are to go to September 12th. We
So
may vary
two
that
two
date
weeks,
depending
the
on how long it
first
takes
fucking
to get feedback.
test. Okay, I think that's good. That's a good amount of time to actually get feedback.
Exactly. So it's a bit of an experiment.
Social
in
channels
gameplay, but it's
and
also an experiment on
I just
the
happen to
overall
have a social channel. Wow, this is gonna be good. Not that they're gonna listen to anything I say, because
during and towards the end of this process,
I mean,
is for
who
players to be
would?
able to share
But
feedback.
So speaking of core set of changes, I mean,
let's
we're here
go.
for a reason,
Let's
right?
go.
I think so.
It's the Centurion, it's the Gladiator, and it's the Warlord.
I'm
We're gonna
happy.
start
I'm
off
excited.
with the Centurion. This is
Of
gonna
course
be
they
new
did.
to
They had
us,
to
and you
go
guys get to
Centurion
see
first.
Some of the changes that you
It would have been an
experienced in
uproar if they
testing
didn't do
grounds,
Centurion
and we've gotta
first.
show this crazy transition that
Right.
our friend Seb Signoret
Wait for
worked
it,
on.
wait for it.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
One more time. How about this?
What we got?
Look at it. Whoop. Took him
Epic.
4 hours. I think it was well spent. So let's get
Let's
into
see
the
it. I
game.
want to see it. I want to see
Talk
it.
to us a little bit more high level.
Okay, what are we
about
seeing?
the
What are we
Centurion
seeing?
Change, that you guys want to bring forth. What are you trying to address with this hero
Let's see.
specifically with these changes in the testing grounds?
Perfect. So what do we know about Centurion? Like, it's super fun to play as a Centurion, right? You get your
Debatable.
punch the crap out of people.
Yep.
You get to slice. You get your Eagle's Talon.
You
He's
got the
fun.
good life emote, right?
You don't always have fun.
Like,
All that's missing is the grapes. That's all you're missing, really.
it's sad, but where's my ho ho ho? That's what I want to know, right? Like, but it's super fun to play as a Centurion. Where it kind of breaks down a little bit as a Centurion is you have a
Doing
very difficult
anything.
time opening up players who are very good at defending. So you're
Or
kind of
just
like
play the game.
Opener and sustaining is very difficult to do.
Pretty good at just
You wanna solve
not good
that
at
problem and
opening
make
up
them
anybody,
viable,
even if they're bad.
therefore also a bit more fun to play in that respect. On the other side of the your opponent, it can be very frustrating that you end up like cutscened quite often, right? Either from a parry to
Wait, is he
walk
saying
back
they're
to
removing the
fully charged
cutscene?
heavy to fully charged jab to Eagle's Talon, or from Pugio to fully charged heavy to fully charged jab.
I will say
to
Pugio's
Eagle's
kind of.
Talon. You
Yeah,
spend
I've been a
lot
little
of time
frustrated
without
from that.
opportunities to counter
I will say that, but I mean it's a feat. It's like
So
it's
that's
a
what we're gonna
third
try to
feat
do.
too.
A little
I
bit
can
of,
understand it. I think it's more deservedly.
sustainability
That's not
for
that bad.
Centurion to make it a little more fun to play. and a little more fun to the opponent and a little less strong at like long ganks.
Okay, we'll see.
That's the overall pitch. So let's kind of break down piece by piece the things that we
strong and long
just need to
ganks?
try to
I don't
make some
know about
distance.
that one.
First, we'll start with a super easy to show thing: zone attack. Zone attack, exactly.
Hey,
Faintable second
oh,
hit and
that's look at that.
faintable
That
third
is
hit, right. Obvious, a good change.
almost 3 years, but we got
I
it,
was playing with
boys.
someone yesterday who hit me with the first hit, and I was like, cool. Parried the third hit, killed him, and I'm like, that sucks for you a little bit.
Is that what decided them
This
to make the
will
change? He
be some
killed the
opportunity
Centurion
to
once.
if you're
I mean, I respect
Yeah,
it. It's
as soon as you do launch it,
well
or, like,
needed- well
release
needed
the zone here at
change
this
for
point,
sure.
You can either cancel at the second or the first or whatever.
the second or the third.
Or the
Exactly.
third. Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. What else did we change? Charged heavies. So these used to be soft feintable guard break and feintable. Yes, great. We still have that, but now we
Okay.
also allow the ability to feint during the unblockable portion of these.
Ooh, that's. I mean, to be honest,
We feint directly into guard break.
if you get hit by a full charged unblockable
So that's
from
pretty cool.
neutral,
We saw with Shigoki, for example, like
don't really have too
yes,
much
you
to
want
say to
be
you.
able to feint these because
That's
otherwise
that's
it's free
fine.
Parry. It worked with Shigoki. These are now threatening moves for it, so we're trying to do the same thing for Centurion. What do we want to show next? I'm going to ask Manu, who's got no microphone. Okay. All right, let's show the lights next. So open is about the
No,
same,
little
but
chains.
the
He
second and
actually
third
can
hits
chain.
have both 500 MS. We hope this means that Centurion can actually go through the chain.
Well, that's decent. His light attacks are
Big
pretty
piece
shit,
that we
to
want
be honest.
take a look at is the jab. This is kind
Okay,
of like
let's
the
see
difficult
this.
part of the puzzle for Centurion. Right now, because it's guaranteed on live, that's where the cutscene aspect comes, the uninteractive part of it comes. So what we want to do here is we make the charged heavy no longer guaranteeing any kind of jab. However, the benefit we're giving back is that the jab can be feinted.
Right,
what
that's
is
what I
this?
that's what I heard.
Right? The opponent can actually dodge. Oh, I guess I should pick up the controller here.
I mean,
Okay, here we go. All right, dodging the jab.
Okay.
okay.
But we can see that, like, yep, he was a bit slow on the feint to guard break there, but definitely can catch the dodgers. If you
I was about to say he looked like he was all the way fully with his jab.
doing it live is always fun.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Anyway, you can get wrecked that way. So that's pretty cool.
That looked a little late, to be fair. I don't know,
And what's interesting is now,
but maybe he's just
after
not hitting the button
heavy,
quick enough.
the Centurion has the opportunity to get the jab, which gives it free light, the knockdown, which gives the Eagle's Talon,
Okay.
or the feint guard break, which can set up anything else.
Okay, so they didn't
So,
remove.
Just to recap, basically what you're saying
the
is that
cutscene.
the,
It's just not
basically the
guaranteed.
cutscene is still
Okay.
possible.
Yes.
But if it
He just
is
answered me.
possible,
Okay.
it's your fault.
Yes, it's no longer a cutscene. It's now a series of things that can happen with
A
options
series
to
of
counterplay
unfortunate
it.
events.
So, like, if
But still
you're
a
dropping your
cutscene.
controller like you did before and made a sandwich and then came back to the game, that's
Okay.
no longer going to happen because right now.
Well,
you
it gives
actually
him
have
that gives
a
him
chance
at
to-
least a little
can
bit.
dodge
I don't know.
Exactly.
Right?
You,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you just dodge.
Just dodge.
I don't know how quickly the feint window is.
Although it's gonna be
If
a
you
little
can
more difficult
interrupt
to do
sense
that,
with his lights.
because the Centurion has a few more areas
Or
from
whatnot.
which the
I'm
Centurion
not
can
sure.
Hit this thing. We've added it between the lights.
Oh, you can.
See here.
Light punch.
Light.
Okay.
Punch guarantees light. You
Okay.
can of course go to heavy if you want as well.
Yeah, that's actually really
You
good.
can see
The
Manu's
fact that
having a really good
lights
time beating the crap
can
out of
actually
the
give
kid.
him a good shit. Okay, that's sick
He's
actually.
not showing it, but you can
like
tell
that.
he's enjoying it.
Yeah, he's
That's
not
actually
super
sick.
expressive,
I
but
like
that
that.
little bit of a smile that you see there.
Yeah, light
that's
punch
him,
is
like,
cool.
He's
Ultra satisfied. Yeah.
Really satisfied.
Yeah, we see that.
Makes him definitely better in
Anything
1v1
else that you
scenarios
guys
too.
want to go over? I mean, these guys will.
That's
again,
dope. I
wanna
like that.
Specify. This is not coming to the game. All the changes that you went over, these are going to the testing grounds, but
Mm-hmm.
not the live game. This is only part of the testing grounds front that will be accessible, and that's important to note because once the testing phase is over, so from August 29th to September 12th, the September 12th may change, but at that point we get feedback on our side, evaluate that feedback, and then see if we need to make any tweaks or if these changes are approved globally from your standpoint as a player. So super important for that to be reiterated.
Right.
And lastly, before we get into the other changes on the Gladiator and the Warlord, is that the survey won't be live until next week either. So
Okay.
August 29th, testing grounds is available with these changes and the survey.
Yeah, so
Well,
we'll
good.
wait until you can actually play it before we.
Yeah, why would you
How do you feel
put
about it?
put a
That's the whole
survey out
purpose of this thing.
before
It's
you do
some
that?
more feedback and refine it so that it's really, as ready as it can be and the best possible situation once it's.
I like that though. That's actually like
Let's get back
the
to
changes
it, then.
are
We've
the
got
changes are
Centurion demo
good,
complete, which was
but they
incredible.
don't seem over the top.
Incredibilis,
You know, it seems like changes that they need.
And then after that, we have the Gladiator.
Like
that
they
we
were
did.
needed
This is
changes
gonna be PowerPoint.
with nothing like
button, yeah.
super
They do it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay, cool.
Like better
No
feints and
no
everything. That's
Come
cool.
on,
That's
Seb.
cool.
Come on. God damn it.
All right, who's going into his desk after this? Is
I
it
am.
you or is it-
I
yeah,
am
okay,
right
cool.
next to him. He's gonna hear it.
All right, Glad. I haven't
Okay, so
seen actually heard
Gladiator and
anything
Warlord,
about
we'll just
Glad.
go through the stuff here.
To be honest,
quickly.
nothing. So I'm
Gladiator stance change reflex guard is now 1100 ms. This is the regular
finally,
timing
dude.
of
Gladiator's
all
guard
assassin's
was
in the game,
so
except for Gladiator now.
so butt
it is a
cheeks,
difference.
dude. Oh my
Should help them
goodness.
duel a little bit, but should
Terrible
really good
guard.
for group fights where
Let's see.
There's a lot of
Let's see.
stuff going on.
exactly.
Yeah, that was needed.
Skewer.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Forward
your-
movement during the
your
strike
heavy
and the
unblockable,
feint.
that you have the option of. We added a bit of forward movement
Is
during
it
the strike,
so-
and the feint. The purpose of this being that if you feint guard break, you'll be close enough to actually.
You won't
better
whiff guard
tracking.
break. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Gotcha. Won't whiff guard breaks and shit. Makes sense.
This one here, chain light attacks.
Oh, actually, I
Second,
did
third,
hear
and
about the
fourth
top
chain
light. I did hear a lot
attack
of
will now
top
be
light.
433 ms. It used to be 600 ms.
That's fast.
Second, third, and fourth.
Wait.
Side
Second, third, fourth chain top light is now 433 ms. Was 600. His chain lights were terrible. I think I made a video as like the top 10 worst moves in For Honor or something, and chained lights from Gladiator were on there, and then chained side lights are 466. So that's like Orochi is speed up. It's just a weird speed up thing. I mean, I guess you just actually can use chain lights now. That top chain light that's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. It's probably gonna catch me out. Gladiator lights don't do a ton of damage though, so that's fine. So, but we'll have to see how it is. Obviously, they could make adjustments and whatever. We don't want to get too out of there with the speeds and whatnot.
light attacks are now 466 ms. They were also 600. So we think that'll be really exciting because like the lights in the chain were really dead moves. No one was throwing these 600 ms attacks. We were joking earlier that like neither of us before we got into this had seen a fourth Gladiator light.
That's very true. I don't
So
think
basically you just want to see it.
sometimes you do it for
Yeah,
the
so
meme, but
yeah. So these are no longer dead moves. These are actually like usable moves
Yeah,
now.
cool.
So that's
do like a
really cool.
heavy
So
into a
hopefully
top
see
light.
Gladiators
Jeez,
play
that's
more
that's
with a
pretty
bit of
quick.
variety.
Nice.
Could be a pretty little deadly
And then
combos.
finally,
How do you pronounce this? Fushina.
are you gonna put me on the spot for this one? I thought you were gonna try.
Okay, let me try.
Man is gonna try.
Manu, what was that? Manu?
Is that the toe stab? Is that what they call
Fushina
the?
ictus or Fuskina ictus?
Which perfectly translates to toe stab, I'm sure.
Okay,
there
that's
we go.
toe stab. Okay.
Is now 600 ms when the target's out of stamina. It used to be
Ooh.
800 because we were being too
Ahora
nice.
será abrido. Whatever the fuck he
But
says.
we want the Gladiator to have, as
Audaces
you see,
Fortuna,
all three
Juvet.
of the changes, the ability to keep pressure up,
Yeah.
and that's what
Classic.
this is about.
And stab some more toes.
Stab all the toes.
Okay, get
Yes.
the punish on the ground, so it's
So
quicker.
let's lead into
Still
the
not
Warlord.
the
This is
fastest,
Big Mike's
but-
lane, so he might be happy with
Okay,
this.
I mean,
Gotta
looking at the Gladiator right there. Okay, I mean, sure. I still think maybe the speed is gonna help them out in ganks and stuff, because I think the Gladiator's not terrible in ones, despite their data saying that like, Gladiator had like one of the worst dueling things. Like I mean, he doesn't have like a ton of crazy shit. The skewer can kind of like get you with some mix-ins and whatnot, but I don't know. I was just thinking maybe something to help him out more with anti-ganks and shit. Maybe like more side movement on his heavies. Like they could make his like side like a slash almost like a something so it hits like multiple enemies and stuff. I just feel like he's way too much of a single target character that he just has way too much issue if he gets ganked. The guard is going to help out a lot in that though. I will say having a normalized guard, being able to block external attacks and shit like that. So that's going to help out definitely. But yeah, I mean it's not terrible changes, but it's we'll have to see. Obviously, they're up for debate.
do my best for Big Mike.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Warlord.
All right, Warlord.
Light attack. The big one is that the light attacks are now enhanced.
Is that
This means that they're not stopped on block.
Thought
so you
that
can
was just
continue your pressure.
called
Throw the
uninterruptible.
light, they block it. You can now throw.
Okay,
another
well, they're
finisher, light
enhanced.
Finisher. Same with your light
Oh,
finisher.
dude, his lights. I'm reading the next one, dude.
Massively disadvantaged.
I like that.
You should be
I like that.
So you can
His light attacks have no fucking range at all.
Right?
So more globally,
That was
when
the
you
worst.
talk about these changes, are they addressing a specific like global problem, or is it more little things that you want to tweak within that hero?
I think so. I mean, like in Warlord's case, it's because like once you do one thing, you have to stop, right? Like you can't really throw like light
That's
followed
the
by
same
second
pressure,
light or heavy followed by second light. Like it's not going to happen. So here we've tried to.
That is true.
make
He is
it
kind of a
really
one and done character.
viable to do that. Same with the range, light attack range, like giving him a little more ability to hit someone who's a few feet away.
That's
him
good.
now go from like my effective range is not near zero.
So they got top attack
So that should
18,
be pretty helpful.
1
The
damage up, and then
changes are
side
just a
light
little bit to,
15.
like,
That's still good.
well,
I mean,
'cause
even though
it's
it's
not
small,
performing quite the way we wanted.
sometimes the smallest like
So
tweaks to
sometimes
just
better.
damage like that can really
Top
help
light
out.
finisher, yeah, it's a little nerf, but
Oh,
because we
finishers
can
actually
throw it
less.
a bit more. We think it won't be so bad,
Eh.
but we do still want it to cause immediate hit reactions.
I don't know.
People,
I don't think that's necessary.
so.
I don't think you need to nerf it. I don't think Warlord does like crazy amounts of damage.
Heavy attack finishers, we've also tried to help out Warlord in that second attack.
Nice.
Same with the lights. Now here in
Okay,
the
that's
heavies, we put an
finishers.
uninterruptible stance to start a little bit earlier, 300 ms,
Okay.
which should help in group fights.
His
scenarios
like
where, yes, you hit somebody
starting heavies
with a
are
break heavy or whatever.
really bad with like the startup
and now you
time on
wanna
it.
Throw something else across.
It's like you're over like halfway done with the attack
You're
by
a little
then.
more safe to do that.
Nice, awesome.
So that's what we're hoping.
All right.
And then
That's
finally,
better.
full block stance, the stab follow up. Missed on a number of heroes because their range was a bit too long, and we want this to actually hit now.
Nice.
So you get your
That's it?
actual punish.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Is that everything?
And so these are all of the changes that are going to be live in the testing grounds as of August 29th.
Exactly. You'll see the
Okay. I'll talk about this for a second. I mean, I like the range on the attacks. I like the enhanced lights. So it's not just block and you bounce off. That's definitely better. I still think Warlord doesn't do that much damage, right? I mean, you can spam headbutt or whatever, but headbutt's not that hard to dodge. Sometimes you might get caught with a GB, right? Maybe thrown into a wall. It's not as common anymore because his throw isn't as long. Maybe probably only in duels is where you would get thrown more frequently, or if you're just happen to be in like a tight corridor, if you're fighting on like Forge, for example, you'll get hit by that. There's still a lot of areas where you can fight to where like a Warlord's kind of useless with like his throw, even though it is longer than most people's. But I think the main issue again is like he has his opener, but it's not like a great opener per se. Like, cause you can't flow out of your headbutt, I think, right? Or can you? Maybe you can. If you can, it probably isn't that good, to be honest. And that could have been something with the heavy finishers, maybe getting more hyper armor. But you know, I don't know. I think you can flow out of it. I could be talking out of my ass, but I don't know. He doesn't have many combos to like continue going. And I guess the light attacks, they're saying them being enhanced will help that out. And I think his full block stance just in general is pretty bad. Like a lot of the times shit's just blocked too. Like why don't you guarantee something on full block on certain things? Like a lot of other characters get it. It's kind of like the thing with like Warlord. Like 9 times out of 10, stuff doesn't hit when Aramusha does it. I don't know if I said Warlord when I meant to say Aramusha, but like with Aramusha, like you'll do a top blade blockade, shit just doesn't hit. You'll do the stab with Warlord, and it will often just get blocked. So I mean, the full block stance doesn't even really have that much of a like that going for it, right? Like you have something like Black Prior who can, you know, go into like the odd profunities. They have the threat of the flip. They can do the unblockable, but they can feint it as well. And so like you have a little more options there. I would like to see like at least more options for the Warlord, or more threats potentially. These ones just kind of seems kind of minimal, to be honest. Like I know Warlord's gotten adjusted quite a bit over like the entire course of the game, but this is, I don't know how I feel about this. We'll have to see once it gets implemented in the game. It could be a lot better. I could just be wrong, but just looking at the initial stuff, that's my reaction. Well, shit, I guess that was it. Well, let me know what you guys thought of the initial thing of these. Obviously, sent looks pretty good. That's a good change. I like how that looks. I think it's, not necessarily guaranteeing a full charge jab, but being able to jab after light, being able to feint your jabs is pretty damn good. Gladiators are a little, there's some good changes in there, a couple other that I'm questioning, and Warlords, again, there's a couple good ones like the range and the enhanced light attacks, but again, a couple other ones I'm kind of questioning. Like, I don't know if it's like great for him, like, because that's not the real root of the issue, like with the full block and everything, but I mean, it's nice to see this. This is actually one of the coolest, maybe not the coolest, probably Dedicated Service was the coolest, but it's probably like one of the top 5 coolest things that they've added into the game is this testing grounds thing. Can't wait to try it. The fact that you can actually gain progression with your characters while playing in there is awesome too, being able to do your orders so it feels like you're not just playing for no reason. You actually get that incentive, which is great. That's going to encourage a lot more people to actually play it, which is good. When you have people playing the game, you can get more feedback on the characters. That's good shit. Ubisoft, great job. That's awesome. I think that's a great change. But if you enjoyed this, guys, drop a like, comment, subscribe. This has been Reaction-y, and hopefully we get these characters where they need to be, because everyone should be on a balanced playing field, being able to take out any character no matter who you pick. So take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you. Peace.